Hey, welcome back to the NM Rancher channel. So, a lot has happened since the last time I turned the camera on. Oops, this four-wheeler doesn't have a backing on it. But basically, we have a virus on our herd. We have some BRD going on, and we have to retreat our animals before we end up losing them. And so that's what we're doing today on the farm. So over about the last 72 to 96 hours, I ended up in the emergency room because I have turned over 40, or I am over 40, and I eat too much red meat and didn't eat enough fiber, and so I got an infection in my colon, so they had to take care of that. And then these calves, because the drought is on so heavy right now, the cattle just did not rebound nicely enough after we gave them the vaccines and whatnot, and some of them had developed BRD. There's various different forms of it, but basically it's an pneumonia, or eats the lungs, and it's really contagious and really bad for the herd. So we took one to the vet, and we got some medicine, and the vet recommended that we retreat the entire herd just as a safety precaution. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to retreat the herd as many as we can tonight. We have some that are appear to be sicker than others, and so we're going to take care of them first and then see what we can do since it's still a school night. But first thing we got to do is get our sprinkler turned on, because in order to get the calves, let's see, I think it was about 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, we turned the sprinkler off so they didn't have access to water. And we finished gathering them last night, and so now we can turn our sprinkler back on and get to watering this triticale, which looks amazing. Who knew if you just added a little bit of water what it would all turn into. But anyways, we got to go turn our sprinkler back on because we do not want this stuff to head out if at all possible. So we got to go turn the sprinkler on. All right, first pump. Push all the air out. And then I'll start pushing water to the sprinkler. And then I got to go turn the other pump on. I always wait to make sure it actually puts water to the top. I can hear it coming. There it is. On top of me being in the ER and this virus, we've had cattle out just about every night. Look at this guy. And this guy was found across the road in one of my neighbor's pastures, and then we had another one out about 3 sections away. And the significance of that is we've been doing this for I think 3 years, and we've not had a calf get out, and now all of a sudden, in the worst possible time, we've had 2 of them get out. So this guy is a mean sucker, and so he gets to stay alone by himself. We're not letting him back out onto the field because see how anxious he is. We may not ever be able to get him back into the corrals just because he is super anxious, and he would end up taking the rest of the herd with him. And he'd be really hard to control, and so for those reasons he unfortunately is going to be here by himself, which is not what I want to do, because these are herd animals, and so you really want to keep them together. But he's going to get somebody hurt, and so we're taking our precautions with him. So we're probably just going to fatten him out and sell him, or fatten him out, and when he's ready to go on a truck, we'll put him on a truck. But one of the neighbors put a quote, which I really like, is you can see the eyes, but the eyes can't see the heart. And that's a true statement, especially in a stocker operation, is you don't know what you've bought until they show their colors. So this guy showed them, and we're not going to tolerate that behavior. And so I don't need to show that I'm tough by running mean cattle like that. And so he goes into timeout for the rest of his stay on this property. So that's him, 51. We got your number. All right, pump number 2. That is good. I already hear water coming. Alright, so what we have here is we have really sick cattle that need extra treatment are going into this, what we call our weaning pen. And then cattle who aren't showing signs that don't need the extra treatment are going into here. And we're just doing a couple at a time. These guys that don't need any extra treatment, we'll put them back on the field tomorrow. The other ones get 2 more rounds of shots over the next couple days. So that's what we got to do. That's what we're doing. So right now, Henry is in the process of loading these guys so I can get them up into the chute. And then what we're looking for, come on, hey, come on. Come on. Alright. Come on. We're looking for anything that's got real snotty noses, gurgling breathing, real lethargic. That's what we're looking for. Most of these look like they're doing okay. I don't see any labored breathing or anything like that in here. So we should be able to just give them their antibiotic and then let them back out. So if we didn't have enough problems, this one has the start of pink eye. You can see the cloudiness right there. So he's green number 13. Yeah, droughts create a lot of problems. So we'll get him his antibiotics, we'll put him in the quarantine pen, we'll keep an eyeball on him, no pun intended. And he doesn't have the virus, so maybe we should put him in with the Mr. Grumpy Butts. Huh? Yeah, so I don't know, we'll figure out what to do. So we don't want to then turn around and spread pink eye everywhere. So before we let the calves out, Temperance and I are rechecking this fence, and this is where one of the calves, 2 calves, decided to go head over foot. It's had legs all up in the air, so we're gonna just stand it back up if we can. They just bent the T-post right at the bottom. Hold that, Tempe. This gate is on the list to get rebuilt this year if I can get the rest of my problems to go away. But you can see how loose that wire is. Pretty loose. But I think that'll be okay for now. Alrighty, so Tempe and I went and checked the gates real quick, or the gates real quick. And we're gonna open these guys out so they can go get on their grass again. Back to the wild bunch. And then we're gonna process another batch tomorrow, and we'll repeat it until we're all done. Alright, what's your question? Well, they're going to have water on the sprinkler.
Okay.
And we can configure it so they can come and go as needed. This way. We're gonna just let them walk out.
Okay,
There's the calves right there. They're gonna come on out when they want to. And we're trying to make it so they don't run and get all excited and all that. So that's why we're doing that.
There used to be a gate like that?
No.
Well,
Okay, so we're gonna end tonight's
had that.
video here, and then I think we're just gonna end the video here. We're gonna repeat the process like I said, and appreciate you all watching. Have a great night.